Hi Moglets, it's time to raise Shen. We have been doing quite a lot of farming. There might be a little bit more left to do. But for now, of course, we're just going to start with raising... Ooh, ouch. Glad we got some of these little ones again. The main thing will probably be this new boss, but I wanted to check it out anyway. I mean, I have already fought in it several times, or else there'd be way too much farming to do, but, you know, wanted to give some thoughts on it, so I'll do that while we're fighting. If it is even necessary, I always forget exactly how many they need for level 80, which is what we do for the initial sort of showcase raising mode, as I kind of call it. I mean, we might actually have enough, but if not, then we will fight it once anyway, so I can give some thoughts. There is level 70 anyway, and it looks like we will need to fight it once. Okay, well, you would actually need to anyway. That wasn't on purpose, but nice coincidence. So you do have to first go through a pretty decently long quest. To even get there, you can see I kind of just went straight for it. I don't even have all these teleports unlocked yet. I was just trying to get to the boss. Since she's not even built yet, we are going to swap her out for this battle. I also have been fighting exclusively with Kaching since I got her outfit, so that's kind of what I'm gonna go in with again, I suppose. Also Kokomi, just because Zhongli's shield doesn't protect you a ton here. I mean, from most of their attacks it does, but not from all of them. So what I'm always doing is going after the Electro one first, because as far as I've noticed anyway, he is the only one that actually steps on those walls. Yeah, they always do run away and are kind of annoying. Here, this is a good opportunity to deal damage though if you do have a shield, because this doesn't go through shield. So yeah, just gonna go ahead and do a Kaching burst here. Purple one will probably go jump on a wall now. Yep, there he goes, hopping onto that wall. And then, you know, I just destroy it with a Zhongli thing. Just gonna continue to do some damage with Kaching here. Let's get a Kaching burst, I suppose. And yeah, once that one has no HP, they're gonna go together to do this weird tornado attack. Actually, very easy to avoid. That was literally the first time I've ever gotten hit by it, of course. and then once you kill one, they're gonna go chill in the water for a while, and then you just have the other one to deal with. And once this one has no HP anymore, then the battle is over. It was very hard the first couple of times I did this, but once I just kind of developed a strategy, I don't know if it's the best or the worst strategy, but it's something that works for me. I mean, it probably would be faster with, like, you know, Hu Tao or whatever, but it works. So, but anyway, let's go ahead and grab these last materials we need. Is this Bard's Arrow Feather good? It's not. Getting her to 80 now, and there we go. As for the weapon, I would like to give her Calamity Queller, but typically I save that for God mode. Besides that, weapon mats aren't even open until tomorrow, so we can't do that anyway. I would like to give her a decently strong weapon. You know, I usually like to do that for the raised modes also. On paper, Engulfing Lightning does sound really good. I mean, she gets attack based on energy recharge. Having more energy recharge would probably be not bad as a support for her. All of my 5-star polearms will give her some kind of attack boost. Even Homa will increase her attack based on HP. She has 11k at base at level 80, which I think is decently high. We still don't have a sacrificial spear, right? I was thinking that would be good for her as well, but yeah, they don't exist. That's so sad. It's funny that the attack increase is doubled when she's not on the field, because it specifically says her current attack is applied to the, you know, icy cool damage. So it's like, yeah, you know, crafted specifically for her. I don't know who else could take advantage of this, but I guess for now, Engulfing Lightning. I do want to focus on her being a support and not a damage dealer herself. Priority will be on E and Burst, I suppose, though. Her skill and Burst are both very important to level up, it seems. Her Burst will increase the resistance decrease that she applies to the enemies. Probably her E is a little bit more important, although I believe I have farmed enough stuff to get them all up to at least 6 anyway, so we can probably start with that. I do like to use the raised modes, or the first video of a character showcase sort of deal, as more of a way to kind of explain the basics of the character. We will go ahead and raise her basic to 6 as well, and then we're going to talk about her talents a little bit here. Basic attack is basic, there's nothing special going on here. It's as you would expect. Her E is a little complicated, also attaches to one of her passives down here. We'll get to that in a second. I'm gonna try and keep it somewhat simple though, so essentially she will give other units a buff, and when these other units attack with cryo, the damage will be increased based on her attack. There are a couple of extra details. First of all, this bonus will only be applied to the first 5 or 7 attacks based on if you press or hold it, and if you're hitting multiple enemies, each hit will count separately. So if you do a Ganyu charged shot and it spreads out to 3 other enemies, that counts for 3 attacks, you know? So that's like 2 charged shots, and then you do not have this Icy Quill anymore, which increases your damage based on Shen's attack. Another thing that changes whether you press or hold it is found in her passive here. So pressing it will make skill and burst do extra damage, and holding it will make everything else do extra damage. It'll of course depend on your team, but that is something to definitely keep in mind because 15% straight damage bonus is quite a lot. Her burst at least is a little bit simpler. It'll decrease the cryo and physical resistance of opponents in the ring. I think I originally misunderstood this, that it gives a bonus, but that may have been because of the other passive that ties into her burst. Characters in this ring get a 15% cryo damage bonus. So enemies will have a cryo resistance decrease and you'll have a cryo damage increase. So upon further thought, this would probably be better for melee cryo users like Ayaka, because you're going to be pretty close to each other anyway. Also, one sort of interesting thing about her burst, this resistance decrease does go up as you level it up, as we talked about earlier, but it does cap out at 15%. So there's no need to get her to C5, I guess, unless you really want to get the full resistance decrease bonus. You would have to get it up to level 10, aka crowning it, to get the full bonus though. We can also talk about constellations a little bit. I know this is very whale territory, so I'm not going to spend a ton of time on it. C1 already sounds really good. I mean, yeah, you're going to have the Icy Quill for the full duration until it resets, but you can still only attack 5 or 7 times or 5 or 7 enemies, and then the Icy Quill is gone, so you could come back in and refresh it more often. C2 also sounds really good. I mean, 6-second bump in duration for her burst, that's insane by itself, but also 15% cryo crit damage. It's not a ton, but it's definitely something. Her C4 honestly just sounds a little weird. Essentially, you can have up to 50 stacks of this stuff. That'll increase her skill by 5%, but she only gets these stacks when other characters are using the Icy Quill and dealing damage. Okay, and then yeah, basically C6 removes this trigger quota. You can do as many normal in charge attacks as you want, and the Icy Quill won't go away. And you could basically have 100% uptime because it lasts as long as its cooldown is. So that's kind of cool. Me personally, I would be totally fine with C2 or even C1 or even C0. 4-piece Oblige with a decent amount of energy recharge substats and like triple attack, you know, to get her Icy Quill damage much higher. I think I would like to try that first. So yeah, usually I'm just starting with some experiments of my own for fun. We also do have to decide on a team. I think we are going to start off with trying Ayaka as our main DPS. Just throw Zhongli in there for more resistance decrease. It's also easier to see things when you're not getting knocked around. And then of course her down here, she must be right there. Probably would go Benny or something here, but that's, yeah, Ayaka doesn't work with Benny either at C6. Very sad. It's probably what I would try though. Well, it's been a bit since we've tried Albedo, so sure, why not? He fits everywhere. He'll just do some passive damage. I heard there was a bug with him. I don't know if that's been fixed yet. Where his like passive damage would get messed up from shields or something. This will also give us Geo Resonance, which is a very powerful resonance, as well as Cryo Resonance. Well, of course, that's a given. I don't think you would take Shin without another Cryo. Well, let's start with a press. So we should have Icy Quill now for our Ayaka. Unfortunately, we just have a Abyss Mage here. Yeah, you can see little talismans surrounding her. This means she currently has it. Okay, should probably rebuild Ayaka, yeah. Also do not have very many good cryo damage bonus goblets, so we're gonna raise a couple here, see if we can get any good rolls. Already, unfortunately, is not looking super good. Yeah, and there goes flat def. 20 cryo damage goblets and they're all horrible. Can only pray it continues to go to crit rate or crit damage for these last procs. Crit rate? It'd be a decent artifact then. Yeah, we got a crit rate. All right, I'll take that, definitely. Also just realized we didn't even look at Shin's stats here, so I guess we probably should do that. Currently she has a little over a 3k attack. Obviously that'll get bumped up a lot when we give her weapon, but can't do that yet. I wasn't really focusing on crit, so yeah, the ratio is obviously horrible. 207 energy recharge means she's getting a decent bonus from engulfing lightning. And I guess our main DPS's stats will be decently important as well. Ayaka here has almost 2,000 attack. Obviously very little crit rate, but a lot of crit damage. With Blizzard Strayer, she should have a good amount, as long as we can actually freeze whatever enemy we're attacking. Currently 91 cryo damage bonus. She has Mist Splitter, so that'll go up and down. So we got some more Hilichurls here. Let's go ahead and just do Water Dude Burst, and I don't want to actually kill everyone here, so we're just going to get his orbs back on the shield. And then let's try a little thing here, and then boom. That should have been increased. Yeah, she's not doing cryo now. 14k from a basic. That's already insane. I mean, Ayaka is built pretty decently now, but yeah. We are, of course, going to try some harder stuff as well, but let's just get through our dailies real quick. Yeah. 16k there. She's not getting all the stacks from Miss Splitter because she has her burst right now, but unfortunately the extra damage Icy Quill is providing Ayaka doesn't show up separately, so it's going to be a little hard to test how much she is actually boosting Ayaka's damage. Obviously it would be easy just to try with and without her, but you know, there are so many variables all the time. Let's just go ahead and fight Senora, a normal battle, not really paying attention to much, you know, trying to do Shin's E and burst whenever possible and all that. Trying to get Water Dude going first. So let's just go ahead and do a press and a burst and switch to our Ayaka. Although I probably, well, no, let's go ahead and use Ayaka's burst because we pressed it and that increases the burst damage. So yeah, we're hitting with 15k there per burst attack. As far as I remember, that hits a lot of times. So Senora is a little hard without a proper healer, honestly, but let's go ahead and try this again. So Shin already has her burst back. We are going to hold this time because Ayaka doesn't have her burst. And we're going to do some... Oh, ooh, wait. I could have sworn I just saw a 23 stacks of 24k. Or did I not see that right with her charge attacks? No way. So we just pressed it now. Ayaka's burst is ready. Let's go ahead. Hers unfortunately was not ready. Now we're getting 16ks. That 15% damage. We unfortunately didn't have Shin's burst. We do have it now. Let's go ahead and use it along with a hold for basic attacks. She moved. Why do you always have to move? That's the issue, man. Like Ganyu would be nice. You can keep at least the cryo damage bonus there. Ayaka unfortunately died. I mean, I'm gonna have to go back in editing. I can't believe that was literally 75k damage from a single Ayaka charged. So I'm not gonna pretend like I'm gonna be playing perfectly or anything. I'm just going to be using skills and bursts and playing how I usually play. But yeah, I think, oh man. Oh, that's right, because Ayaka. Oh, that's what that is. Oh, that counts as 3 attacks, I guess. Huh. Oh, that was really fast. That is Shin's boost. That's where that 24 came from. Okay, well, it's not as hard to see because, you know, it doesn't actually last that long, but here we go again. Boom, boom, there we go, 20Ks, and now it's only doing 10K because the things are gone. Ayaka might not be the best in this case because... yeah, she hits a lot. Also with her burst. I guess each one of those ticks... oh, yeah, I wasn't paying attention. I was only looking at the damage. And he's going back into his little mode here. What's going on with this scene now? Just showing Zhongli instead of the Rock Frog. With his little scene. That was hilarious. Well, that means C6 would be even more insane. You could really use Ayaka well then. Let's try holding, I suppose, and then doing burst. Refreshing Zhongli's shield real quick, trying to stay in this ring. That was a 44k EF that was with the Icy Quill. So I'm finally starting to understand the little details now. I know it took me a bit, but it's a little unfortunate on one hand. Ayaka will tear through those, you know, 5 or 7 hits very fast, especially if there are multiple enemies because, you know, her charge attack is kind of AoE. And so, you know, one charge attack and they're all gone. Wow, we got a big stone. That's crazy. Well, knowing that, her C1 sounds even better now because you could do a couple charge attacks with Ayaka, swap back out to her, refresh the Icy Quill, and then go back. Seems a little bit busy, you know, for a rotation, but it's a thought, of course. And if we had a sacrificial spear, that would help a lot. That was one, and then probably one charge attack. Well, if he didn't block. Let's try it again to be on the safe side. Tap the E. Boom. So we still have them, but one more attack, and they're gone, as you can see. Because her charge attack kind of actually consists of 4 strikes because of the first one to charge the charge attack. Let's see now. We can do an E, and then let's do burst and see if each of those... Yep, quills are gone. And you can also see that the last hits did less damage. So yes, every blue number that pops up will decrease this 5 or 7, depending on if you press or hold, by 1. If you do Ayaka's E with 5 enemies in that little radius, they'll also be gone. So yeah, if Shin was at C6, obviously would be absolutely amazing with Ayaka. Currently, I would still say not bad. I mean, she does decrease, you know, cryo resistance, gives a cryo bonus with her burst. And at least her first charge attack will be really strong, as well as her E. I do want to see how much it is actually increasing the damage though. So we only have Zhongli shield right now, and we're getting, you know, 8600s from her charge attack there very consistently. So all we're gonna do now is press and go to Ayaka. Yeah, literally twice the damage for at least the first charge attack. I need to know if this is a flat increase or not though. So we're gonna use her stronger E attack with nothing. That didn't crit, unfortunately. I really want to use crits as a baseline. So yeah, pretty consistently 29,508. I'm just trying to keep Zhongli being consistently hitting him as well, so that, you know, nothing changes. Now we're gonna do a hold because we did a tap for the basics. And now 40k. We're getting 16k hits and then 8k hits. But yeah, since I was initially looking at her basics with her press, and the press doesn't give the extra bonus from, you know, the passive, then I was doing the hold for the skill because the passive doesn't give bonuses to her E then either, to make it, you know, consistent. But I don't know, it's kind of weird. Like, it says the damage bonus is 64% of her attack. So I was thinking like 64% of 3k is like not that much. What, 2k? Extra, but that's obviously not the case. I mean, it could be talking about the base damage before, you know, all the other things like crit damage are applied. So if Ayaka's normally doing like 2,000 damage, then of course, an additional 2,000 on top of that would be insane. So that's the only thing I can imagine when it comes to this, because it's not just a 63.9% of her attack as extra damage. So yeah, this damage bonus must come somewhere earlier in the chain. I don't know exactly where, but it's more than it sounds. I'm sorry. But yeah, let's just kill Masanori here while doing some stuff. So we did that. So we're, yeah, now we get 45k and 20k from her charge shots. So we could go back, get a refreshed shield, go do a tap, and then I guess her burst. 24, 24, and then it goes to 16. Yeah, it's kind of like a flat 8k more damage. I mean, I guess it could be applied before crit damage because she has a lot of crit damage. This strange mark is also applied to herself, so it might be a little easier to see with someone like Chongyun, you know, and just attacking with her. Haven't really considered just Cryo Shin yet because I haven't raised my Chongyun. Of course, they do have some kind of connections back in the lore as well, and I'm sure you could do some interesting stuff. Unfortunately, just haven't gotten around to raising him yet. Maybe he'll be my next because I have been wanting to raise him for a while. So essentially with his E, can drop that down and then boom, she is attacking with Cryo. Obviously she herself won't do a ton because, yeah, well, let's just see. 2,000, 2,000, and now 900. Yeah, I think crit damage does play a pretty big role in her attack boost because the boost she's giving herself is definitely nowhere near 8k. She can't even do 8k with her own quills. So yeah, Shin is a pretty complicated character. I think I mostly understand all of her little details by now. There's still quite a lot to pay attention to when you're playing, mainly whether you're gonna press or hold her skill. If you have like you know, a strong burst ready on your main DPS, then better to get the 15% damage bonus for that and just press the skill. Obviously, considering how her icy quills work, it would be, I guess, more efficient in a way to go for a slower, stronger cryo attacker like Ganyu, and especially if it's a single enemy, because she won't be, you know, doing all that AoE. Yeah, and besides Ganyu and Ayaka, I don't know if we even have any other real cryo main DPSs that could super take advantage of her right now. But yeah, I've already been recording here for almost 2 hours, so I'm probably gonna wrap it up here. Again, raising modes are more just to learn about her, play around a little bit. Nothing too serious, but yeah. Make sure to tell me what you think in the comments down below. If you have some general tips or advice for any of the other viewers, go ahead and drop it down there as well. Leaving a like or subscribing to the channel if you enjoy the content is always greatly appreciated as well. Thanks, as always, for watching, and until next time.